Hi, today we'll be presenting to you Exoskeletons in the Labor Force. This is prepared for course Eng 1101 Section C. So what is an exoskeleton? Well, purely biologically speaking, an exoskeleton, as seen in Figure 1 for the Colorado potato beetle, is an exterior skeletal structure that provides support for the animal's body. We'll be discussing more so mechanical exoskeletons, where they provide assistance for human bodies through natural movements. The systems can both be active and passive. Active is where sensors, motors, and other electronic devices provide assistance to the human, whereas passive is purely mechanical means. The systems can exist both for partial bodies such as upper and lower body, as well as full body suits also exist. So now let's move on to our claim or our argument. We believe that the labor industry must be working to implement exoskeleton devices into the field in order to assist workers while performing strenuous tasks while on the job.
As the aging population is expected to increase between 2019 to 2024, the exoskeleton suits sold to manufacturing companies are projected to increase by 50%. A study on the workplace injuries in the US recorded 4,700 total deaths in 2011, which costed $6 billion for the government alone. The suits are able to provide non-intensive muscle contraction with less energy being exerted during activities that require the body to move, and is able to prevent falling with its low speeds of 0.2 to 0.7 meters per second. The Ford Motor Company has seen an 83% decrease in injuries when workers had access to the suits. It is estimated that workers, loggers, or miners would benefit, reducing the cost of their employers, as well as be used in government programs assisting firefighters and the military. Auto industries in China, which are automated to a high degree, typically have workers who are very experienced and have worked in the industry for a while. These workers, as they age and experience injuries on the job, cannot be easily replaced, leading to difficulties for the company. Many of the causes of injury in the US from a 2018 study found that 31.4% of workers overexerted themselves on the job, making it one of the top work-related problems within the US.
Another reason why the labor industry must work to implement exoskeleton devices into their field is due to the range of different exoskeletons that can be implemented depending on the targeted section of the body. Therefore, exoskeletons are not unique to just one type of job. They are applicable and useful for the entire labor industry. On this slide, there are 4 common exoskeletons. Firstly, there are power gloves. This exoskeleton helps workers with a weak grasp gain a stronger grip on tools. There are back support exoskeletons, which can reduce back pressure and ensures correct posture while bending down. Next, there are arm and shoulder exoskeletons. Most useful for car factories where workers work overhead, this exoskeleton reduces pain felt in the deltoid muscles, which are muscles in the shoulder. There are also crouching and standing exoskeletons, also referred to as chairless chairs. These exoskeletons provide support and reduce fatigue while crouching or standing in a position for an extended period of time.
Why should you care if exoskeletons are not available in the workplace? It would be unfair, unjust, and inequitable. People work hard to provide for their families and to pay for the bills, but there can be a chance for injury. For example, you may know someone who works at a place that involves heavy lifting and struggles to do so. And sometimes companies do not realize the person who experiences the injuries has to go through the pain and suffering that could potentially be everlasting, depending on the degree of harm done. Thus, having these exoskeletons would be a great benefit for both the company and the workers, as it would improve workplace comfort, reduce muscle fatigue, improve quality of work, and increase productivity.
So some limits to the technology of exoskeletons are the limited mobility that you're given. So what this means is that when you have an exoskeleton on, you have a higher risk of collision, and also this can shift your center of gravity. So what this means is that once you lose balance, it's going to be hard to recover. Another issue is the restriction to some certain weights. So to clarify is that there was a study conducted that exoskeletons are being developed for people with spinal cord injuries. And when people have spinal cord injuries, 2 out of 3 people are more or become obese. So when they become obese, they're a heavier weight, and the exoskeletons have a weight requirement of 100 kilograms, which is 220 pounds less. If you're over than that, you can't fit into exoskeleton, which limits the most of the research because 2/3 of the spinal cord injury population is obese.
Housing claims. The price of the suit is extravagantly high, which starts with a price tag of $4,000 to $45,000. The high price of the suit is worrisome for the client, as top-of-the-line suit costs 12 times more than an average labor cost per month, reduces workforce. The efficiency of this technology lets fewer injuries to happen. That means less safety precaution and training will be needed. And also, with the help of exoskeleton, a person can carry out different tasks without any trouble, resulting into less requirement of manforce. Rebuttal to opposing claims. High price. In 2016, an evaluation of injuries caused due to workforce over 4 million lost in workdays, which resulted into $15 billion lost, which was due to the compensation made. With exoskeleton, the risk of injury and financial loss can be reduced. Reducing workforce. It can be given to people with special needs, for example, disabled or old aged man, from which companies can reap the benefit in keeping a consistency in jobs.